In a land of myth and a time of magic, the destiny of a great kingdom rests on the shoulders of a young boy. His name, Merlin.
Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly retrospective thing. If this is late, I apologize. It's just that I had a lot of things to do on Tuesday, and now I'm finally having the time to film this at 9 at night my time. But let's get into the show, shall we? So, The Poisoned Chalice, episode 4 of series 1. Well, we gotta have the opening title sequence that I always show in the beginning of my reviews, where we then open up to Nimueh casting a spell into her fountain after pricking her finger to drop a droplet of her own blood into her viewing fountain. Interesting way to open the episode. And then she has a spell going on where she looks at Merlin doing some kind of servant labor thing. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of thinking that she's more of a stalker that has nothing better to do, but Nimueh will be Nimueh. So, after looking at that, we then have to cut to her putting some kind of flower piece from her fountain into a chalice, or goblet, as people wanted to call it. It's a fucking chalice. I don't care what people say. Where then it cuts from the chalice being shown on camera to a group of people from a country called Marcia, led by a king named Lord Bayard, going to Camelot. Where it kind of seems like at the beginning it seems like war is gonna break out, sort of like West Side Story related, but then it just becomes like they came here to sign a peace treaty. Yay, peace! And during that whole talk, we see in the background that Nimueh is there disguised as a slave girl. Or servant girl, whichever one you want to say. To me, it's all slavery. Being a servant for a king without really any known acceptance of the job, it's slavery. Anywho, we then have the opening credits again, which I can never get enough of. Watching the show, the opening credits are just amazing. After which we then have a scene of Merlin doing manual labor and then lamenting about being a servant again. Because that's a running gag throughout the entire series at this point. Merlin does something involving servant work, and then bitches and moans about it. Where Gaius then tries to make it seem like it all matter by saying a half-assed proverb, or hard work makes a harder body, or some kind of half-assed proverb like that. But during that time when they're just discussing this, Nimueh, disguised as a servant girl going by the name of Kara, faked trips so that she can have a meet cute with Merlin, who from his own perspective thinks that she's a cute girl that he could get that with. I'm not saying he couldn't, because Merlin probably got that magic swag that'll get all the ladies in his bedroom, but Nimueh probably does not want the D. I don't know. Still though, once she leaves after he gives her stuff from her trip, he then just walk away just like, I hate to see you go, but damn, she looks good when she leaves. And then Gaius just jokingly jabs at Merlin for not doing his job because he said that he keeps everything running to impress the girl. We've all been there. And after which, we then have a scene of Merlin getting clothes from Arthur, who says that they are gonna wear clothes, or he's gonna wear clothes that hasn't been washed for a year. That shit is gross. That is disgusting. And then goes into saying that Merlin's gonna go to the banquet with him, with the Marcias and the Camelot kingdoms doing the signing of the treaty, and also going into the fact that Merlin will just be going there as a wine bearer. And he's going to be wearing a ceremonial robe for the banquet, which looks fucking stupid, with a furred hat, sort of like a jester's cape, a little tunic with the symbol of Camelot, black shirt, and I believe red pants. I think that's what the costume designer wanted to put together, but either way, it was a stupid design for a stupid-ass costume. Still, though, when the whole peace treaty thing is going down, where they're just standing around or whatever, looking at the props, just like, okay, guys, the scene's about to happen, just make it look like you're busy, look like you got something to do, extras, do what you gotta do to earn that paycheck. We then have Merlin checking out Kara, where he seems infatuated with Kara, while Gwen is standing next to him, being visibly jealous. I wonder why. I mean, it's not like season 1 was all about shipping people that won't be married at the end of the series. Especially since Merlin's own love interest in season 2 ends up anyway. After going over the whole thing of being jealous and walking away from Merlin, we then have to get back to the story where the kings have just signed the treaty. So, episode over? No. We haven't seen a Poisoned Chalice yet, so we're stuck. So then we have Bayard doing a boring exposition speech about the wars between Camelot and Marcia. Which honestly takes up too much time to type down on a notepad, so I'm just like, exposition, hurrying out plot details. And then Bayard, after which, goes into presenting the 2 goblets to the Pendragons, unaware that one of them has been switched out for a cursed and or poisoned chalice. So title dropped there. So Nimueh, as Kara, takes Merlin away from the banquet with guys just like, I wonder what those 2 young people are going to be doing. I mean, it's the Middle Ages, so they can't be fornicating, because that would be wrong. And they know better than to fornicate in the hallways. Oh, Middle Ages, where STDs apparently were not a giant thing. So, with them in the hallway talking, and Nimueh about to set up Bayard for one of the biggest scandals in the episode, she then decides to say that Bayard poisoned the chalice. So after that, we have to cut to the scene where in the scenes in the royal palace where they have toast, where it's like, toast to you, and to you, and to you, and then start drinking. Well, we have that going on, but here's the kicker for the suspense factor. Oh wait, I forgot my hat. Arthur is about to drink from his chalice 3 times throughout this entire sequence, but to build up suspense, we have people going on like, and to this person, may the health be this, and then, and to the people, and to the fallen. It's just like, can I fucking drink, please? Can I fucking drink? I've been standing around being a douche all day, Dad. And you, Bayard, I've been a douche all week. I need to get drunk, man. Fuck. And so when Merlin is just running back into the room, Arthur's about to drink, when he just like, stop the drinking! Stop it! Stop the drinking at once, right away. And then decides to repeat Kara's message to the entire banquet. And like clockwork, like anything else, Bayard is just like, blasphemy! Draws a sword, then all of Camelot's guards and security starts drawing their swords, so it's kind of like, how are we gonna solve this bitch? How are we gonna solve all this now? And like clockwork, the Pendragons are already on the case, with Arthur being a dick. He can't be anything else at this point and Uther going off like, how do you know this information? Are you sure? Where are your facts? And so he decides to go up to Bayard, going off like, are you sure it's not poison? He's like, yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Well then, you have nothing to fear then. Wait, I ain't gonna have you drink this, because you and I are kings. Apparently our lives mean more than anyone else's lives, because we can't be royal people that respect the common man. So Merlin, you drink this. It's like, you fucking dick. Because everyone in the audience knows that it's poison. We don't know how it's poison, but we know it's poison because the title says it. So it's kind of like, Uther wants people to die without respecting life in general, from his own high horse psychotic, sniff his own shits and eats his own farts or whatever. And like the servant that he is, apparently, when Arthur is just like, it's no big deal, I'll drink, it's like, Merlin's like, no, I got this. Glug drinks the whole chalice, and for the first 5 seconds, he's just like, it's fine. And then he ends up poisoned. like clockwork. Where afterwards, all of Bayard and his men are put in the dungeon because they are framed for poison and attempted assassination on the Prince and/or King of Camelot. And Gaius then tries to take Merlin away and then has Gwen bring the chalice with them to examine it to see if there's something inside of it that caused the disease. And sure enough, he finds out that it was indeed something hidden inside the chalice. A flower petal from a mortius flower, a poisonous flower that can kill the victim within 4 to 5 days, but can also be used to cure the said victim with said flower once again. However, the only kick is, this means there's a time limit to save Merlin. And we're also introduced to a new mythical creature, fucking English, mythical creature of the cockatree. For Final Fantasy fans, you all remember those creatures from Final Fantasy 12, those little fat chicken balls that just rolled around the deserts of the Gaia plains, just trying to attack the people. Yeah, those things, except more like dragons. So, after hearing all the stuff from Gaius about the cockatries guarding the location where the flowers are hidden, which is a place called the Forest of Balok, Arthur decides, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna go out and save Merlin, because he saved my life. I don't even know if he saved my life any other time. It's just like, well, it's episode 4, so he probably saved your life maybe 23 times without you knowing. So you owe him at least 24 saves before you can ever call yourselves even. So, after getting all the information, we cut to Nimueh leaving Camelot, feeling accomplished, feeling herself, and either that or found something to occupy her time, since she obviously has no boyfriend, so she needs to entertain herself with something that will definitely keep her satisfied at night, as I use my old Blue Yeti microphone to illustrate the obvious double entendre I'm talking about. So, with that said, Gwen goes to Morgana trying to become the normal working girl for Morgana, but she's just like, no, I can handle myself. You go be with Merlin, because I know how much he means to you. And sure enough, she leaves and goes back to Merlin, and Uther and Arthur have a argument about saving Merlin, which kind of cements the later on factors that I've always gone into about how the series will progress. This episode is honestly the one that showcases the real character of what I love about Arthur throughout series 2 through 5. He's not a dick like how the first 3 episodes portrayed him as. He's actually a good-hearted person that wants to do what's right, but he's stuck in the ideals of his father, who, even in this episode, further on into season 3 at the max, will continue to be a psychotic fucking prick that will never give a damn about the little people in his kingdom, because he's just still thinking, oh, I have to make sure that no matter what happens, even if it's the right thing to do, my law stays just. Because that's how life works, right? It's all my choice, all my say. Not that anyone else's word has a say in the matter. And then it just goes into Uther kind of banning Arthur from going out to save Merlin. Big fucking shock. And so afterwards, Morgana and Arthur have a humorous banter between them before they go into a slight disagreement / argument about the importance about doing what's right and about listening to Uther. And sure enough, during the discussion, Arthur's just like, you know what, fuck Dad, I'm gonna leave and save my best friend / manservant, and then just bust through Camelot on a horse, just ready to get the flower to save Merlin. And then Nimueh, who somehow managed to get back to her cave, like, is her cave somewhere like halfway between Camelot and some unknown location we have no idea about? Just watching him from the fountain, which further cements my proof that Nimueh has nothing else to do. It's like she either has no boyfriend, has no sex life, or just has a tool that just got broken and she went out to replace it before coming back to the cave. Either or, I don't care. So, Merlin in his feverish state starts doing his whole incantation gibberish or whatever with Gwen by his side, but thankfully Guy's just like, it's the fever talking. He has no idea what he's saying. Those words aren't his. It's just the fever. Just let me help him. And while examining him to make sure that the condition is what he said it is, here's the kicker to make the whole plot go a lot more suspenseful. Because Nimueh used magic with the flower, Merlin now has 2 days to live instead of 4, which means Arthur has to haul ass to find out what's going on. But because of these actions, Gaius himself deduces that Nimueh snuck into Camelot to just poison the chalice, to do whatever he's still plotting out in his head. Is just like, let's see the formula for this, the action for this, okay, I got this, but I'm gonna save the rest of the analyzation for the last bit of the episode. That's how Gaius' mind was working. So he then has Gwen try to search the kingdom for Nimueh, but big shock, they can't find her. So it's kind of like, Gwen, sweetie, do you want audience vision? Because we can tell you she's in her cave. She's in her cave, man. So afterwards, when we're done with that important part of the show, what do we have now? We have Uther bitching and moaning because his son didn't want to listen to him about the importance of another person's life. Hold on one sec. Is it too late for series 4 and 5 to happen? Anywho. From that, he then starts to get all angry at Morgana, saying, "You told Arthur to disobey my laws and orders to save a person's life? How dare you teach him to value that other people's lives are more important than his own? How dare you teach him to be a good person?" And it's kind of like, what the fuck's the problem? He's doing what a good king would do, and that's save his people, even at the cost of his own life. Maybe you could take note of that, you fucking prick. And then we go back to another scene of Nimueh continuing to stalk Uther from her fountain. And during the notes, I actually make a good little thing. It's just like, does Nimueh not have someone else to stalk people for her? Does she not look like a henchman or, I don't know, a magic animal to spy on people for her to give her the information? Does her life literally consist of nothing but staring into her fountain and just plotting all these things? Like, can't she get like a boyfriend or like a fuck buddy to just occupy her time? What the fuck? What's the fucking deal? Why can't she just automatically get someone else to just spy on people for her so that she can just do some other plotting elsewhere? Because it's just fucking creepy, dude. Stop stalking these people. It's weird. It's weird and annoying. Anywho. After traveling all night, Arthur successfully gets to the forest of Balok. And then Gaius, just still analyzing things and finding out from Gwen that Nimueh's not there at all, he decides to just tell her vaguely that he knew who it was, which is a powerful sorceress. And I'm going to wear a hat because I feel weird not having a hat on. And it's kind of just going into the detail that Gaius knew Nimueh prior to the series because she used to belong to Camelot, which goes to a big old theory for people that used to watch the show back in the day about Nimueh and Uther having a past, which we all know we'll find out later on. But for everyone else like me that knows, it's kind of like, shh, don't spoil it. So, moving on from that, we then have Arthur just strolling through the forest like, yeah, I got a horse. I feel like that guy from Shadow of the Colossus. Like I just killed 15 Colossi. I'm about to kill my last one. Suck my ass, bitches. And then he hears the crying of Nimueh playing the role of a victim. It's kind of where I'm kind of like, does this bitch have like teleportation powers? What kind of magic is she using to just teleport wherever she wants, where the plot demands? Because that's just annoying. And then she has him set up to fight, I think, a cockatree. It's either a cockatree or some other sort of mythological animal inside the forest of Balok, where we have our CGI versus actor fight, which kind of seems a little bit weird from the camera going from Arthur, cockatree, weird, trying to cream herself face from Nimueh, and then going all that way, and then finally ending on Arthur killing the CGI machine, and then Nimueh is just like, my lady boner is gone. Now what am I going to fantasize to when I use this stick to satisfy myself sexually? And then just to play it off, she's just like trying to be a abused servant girl that tried to run away from somebody and says that she can help Arthur by having him divulge that he's looking for something important in the forest inside of a cave. And then she decides to lead him there, but everyone knows it's a trap, especially Merlin, because in his feverish state, he apparently can see where Arthur is and still talk about what he's doing to everyone else that's not in the scene with Arthur. Which goes to a whole thing of Arthur and Merlin having an empathic sort of connection with each other, where it seems like since Merlin's the most magically in tune, which he honestly is, let's be honest, Arthur's life will always be in Merlin's eyes. He will always see him even when he's not able to physically move. So I then start going into the fact that when they're going in the cave, I find it honestly sort of well detailed how they try to do that with natural caves, and even tried to do some real setting sort of things, just like we're going to take the real life caves from this French location, have it on set inside this one locale, and make it seem prestige, make it seem very beautiful to the audience. I appreciate that from an artistic standpoint. So during the time when Arthur's still going in there, Nimueh tries to lead him into a trap by having him, I guess, fall into the crevices of like a giant crevasse inside the cave. But Arthur, being the smart bastard that he is, just analyzes the situation. It's like, ledges. And this one peculiar rock formation. I don't trust this. And then he tries to make sure that she's safe, even though we all know she's evil. And then Nimueh starts trying to make a spell happen where he falls to his death. Where it first starts off slow and quiet, and then she makes her own presence known to make it seem like Arthur is now going to know his true enemy. A kind of bangable sorceress. I think a lot of guys in Arthur's situation just be like, I'll give you a sword that will make you scream to the heavens. If you do not believe me, look at all the guys that want to bang Nimueh from the show. I dare you to find a heterosexual, not me per se, that wants to bang Nimueh. Honestly, for me, I'm bored with brunettes. Give me a redhead any day, but that's just me. So she decides to leave Arthur to die from a CGI cave spider, which he swiftly kills, and then it's just like, I'll leave you to be killed by his family. Farewell for now, because it's not in my destiny to kill you. Ta-ta, bitches! And then Arthur's just left on a ledge, kind of like, well, shit. Also, who are you? Even though everyone else knows who it is, so it's kind of like, why don't you tell the main characters who you are, damn it? Why even keep up the secrecy? So once she's gone, Merlin in his sickened state, apparently during the time of the day or night, Gwen is left for now, and now he and Gaius are together. And in his sickened state, Merlin has cast a spell where, believe it or not, he's sending a giant light ball to safely watch over Arthur, since he's in a dark cabin with no way of watching himself. And it is, quite frankly, very profound in how skillful that Merlin is even when he's sick. So, since he's already faced the magic use that betrayed him, Arthur's just all suspicious of the light ball until it just decides to start leading him upward as more CGI spiders start crawling up the wall to him. So it's a race to the top, and as soon as he gets to the top, it's like, okay, someone saved my life, but I have no idea who to deduce now. So I gotta haul ass to Camelot right away. And after which, Merlin decides to cancel out a spell in a sickened state because he has no other energy to spare. And then we have to deal with what happens the morning after when Arthur returns to Camelot. Where you see, Uther decided that he wants to imprison Arthur for honestly wanting to save Merlin's life. And quite frankly, that is the stupidest thing you could ever do for your child. It's like saying, oh, you want to do the right thing and save someone that honestly works for us, even though they honestly could be doing something else? Well, fuck that. Let them die. I want you to just be here and never do anything nice for anyone whatsoever. Uther is a bitch of a man. Of a man is just going to be all one syllable to me. Uther is a bitch of a man. Say it with me now in the comments. Uther is a bitch of a man. Enough said. So then Arthur and Uther start arguing about the ethics of what's right and what's wrong with someone else's life in the balance, and how royalty should be acting on and how they shouldn't be acting on. And so Arthur is just like, you know what, fuck it. Imprison me, do whatever. Just give the flower to Gaius. He'll know what to do. And Uther's just like, crush! And he's just starting to lecture like, this will teach you never to try and save someone else's life without my own say-so about how important they are. We'll get you a new servant later. And I'm just still thinking to myself, can I cut you? Can I honestly just slice your throat open and have your entire blood spew on the floor while I rip out your vocal cords and start carving you like the cadaver that you are, so I can see what putrid pile of shit that you truly are on the inside? Because that would make me happy. That would make me happy to unleash my inner evil that I've been holding up for years. That would make me truly very happy. But nope. We have to keep him alive until season 4, apparently. So, whatever. With Merlin dying quickly and Gaius and Gwen not knowing where Arthur is, they're just like, we can't find out where he is, we can't find out shit, so what are we supposed to do? And Gwen's just like, I got it! I will search the dungeons for Arthur. And she does, and she finds the flower. And she rushes just in time to save Merlin's life, and Gaius getting her out the room so he can use magic for the first time, which illustrates that Gaius does indeed have good magical memory and knows how to use well enough magical instruments to do his job justice. Which, honestly, makes him the perfect, mentor for Merlin. He knows what he's doing, and it proves so throughout all these actions. Bam! Good way to show Gaius' importance to people who are just like, why is he teaching Merlin? He just says that he knows magic. Why doesn't he just show that he knows magic? Nya. Are you happy now, bitches? Are you happy now? Are you happy now? So, of course, it doesn't take it immediately that Merlin survives because we had to build up that whole dramatic effect. So about 15 seconds later, Merlin is back up and it's like, yay! Our show can still go on perfectly fine. Hooray! And how do we then also get into the shipping factor for Merlin and Gwen? Gwen kisses Merlin. So I'm guessing all the ships just start going out now, or is that later on? Anywho, afterwards, whoa there boy, don't go there boy. After that happens, Gaius tries to talk to Uther when the Marcias are trying to invade Camelot within the following day, where Gaius tries to immediately tell him that it was Nimue that set up all these events in action to set up this four-giant war between Marcia and Camelot. And finally doing something smart throughout this entire fucking episode, Uther has everyone stand firm while he settles everything very smartly by releasing Bayard and still securing a somewhat decent, peaceful method of stopping this from going on. Which he could have fucking done sooner than later. So afterwards, we have a bit of some stuff about Uther trying to find out what Arthur knows about Nimue, Morgana trying to find out from Arthur what happened on his journey, Uther trying to tell at least a small bit about Nimue's past with Arthur while trying to justify his own hatred of magic users from just like, because Nimue did something, she is the whole reason that everyone else that uses magic is sentenced to law of never using it or else they'll face death. Which is fucking stupid! It's like, okay, Nimue did you bad, that's fine. But don't blame other magic users, you fucking moron. That's fucking childish. And then we have to go into the whole scene of Uther trying to... Arthur! So many names I had to memorize for the show. Arthur trying to be dickish to Merlin and just trying to make the whole tone of it seem like I'm still gonna be your asshole of a boss, Merlin. Don't get used to this kindness. But at the end of it, it's kind of like their convos are getting more kind and more compassionate, like friends, rather than as antagonists and people that don't stand each other. And honestly cements what this show is going to grow into, which is a very beautiful statement. And then we have Merlin trying to deduce what the whole actions were from Nimue's plot, but Gaius just sums it up like how we all tried to from just watching the show itself. That Nimue just wanted to kill Merlin. Everything else was just icing on the cake to her. And then we have to end the episode with Nimue just having a creepy stare at the camera, and then roll credits. So in all honesty, from just watching all this, you're probably going to think, I hated this. Honestly, I did not. I honestly did enjoy episode 4. It's just, I expected more from a Arthur-focused adventure. I expected more from a Merlin-Arthur connection from an emphatic link. And that's not just me saying it from me not liking the show. I just expect more from Arthurian lore sort of things because I honestly see this as a great show. It's just that it seems like in the first season they were just too afraid to tap into their wells for more things, which to me is kind of sad. I want shows to be more confident in their placement of things. But other than that, I found this to be super enjoyable. I found what they did with the main antagonist really good. I found what they did with the plot line fantastic. And for them to still secure that Uther is a dick, because no one likes Uther whatsoever, that was still top notch. So I would honestly still recommend episode 4 because a lot of these episodes are good recommendations. But we have to secure for next week where we look into episode 5, Lancelot. So I will see you guys then with my actual hat. And if you're wondering how come the fedora is down here, well, you obviously did not see my 200th episode. So, peace and take care, my lovely nomads. I will see you guys next week.